Repatriating the remains of American soldiers who died during the Korean War has been a headline maker for some time now. Naturally, there is growing interest in exactly how the fallen heroes are recovered. To fill us in on the process, our Park Ji-won takes us to one such site.
This is Seohwa-myeon in the county of Inje-gun, Gangwon-do province. This region, located beyond a civilian access control line and right next to the inter-Korean border, was the backdrop of one of the bloodiest battles in 1951. It is also where the MAKRI, or Ministry of National Defense Agency for Killed in Action Recovery and Identification, has spent the last 6 years searching and locating the remains of those who fell in battle. So far, the remains of 250 soldiers have been retrieved. Personal items are also found here, including an identification tag last week and a personal seal just a day ago.
One of the most important goals of the operation is to collect the remains and send them back to their family members, as identification tags or personal seals are the most paramount evidence for identification process. I feel a great sense of fulfillment and happiness when I find them.
South Korea's efforts to retrieve the remains of fallen heroes began back in 2000, 50 years after the outbreak of the Korean War. And in such efforts in 2007, the MAKRI was officially launched. However, the task is far from being over. The remains of some 120,000 South Korean and some 8,000 U.S. soldiers who died during the Korean War still haven't been recovered. When remains of a soldier are found, there are usually personal items scattered in the vicinity. They are all retrieved and placed together, then wrapped neatly. The remains are all put in a casket and covered by the national flag. The verification of their identities is done mainly through DNA tests.
The percentage of the remains being identified is just around 1% so far. Because we have only collected about 40,000 DNA samples of post-war descendants, the number of fallen heroes that can be identified stands at around 130,000. We hope that the public more actively join in our initiatives.
When remains of UN forces or Chinese soldiers are found, they are repatriated to their respective countries. And with the U.S., the Defense Agency has conducted several joint recovery operations for the past decade. However, South and North Korea haven't yet jointly worked to recover war remains, and the nation's defense ministry expressed its hope that the two Koreas could soon be able to cooperate on retrieving the remains from the war that has never ended. Park Ji-won, Arirang News, Inje.